Okay, this is Gord Oyala and Taylor Stewart, and we are doing our formative assessment activity here for assignment 2, part 1, and we're taking a look at Socrative. So when you come to Socrative as a teacher, you have to make an account, which is free to sign up for, and when you get to this page, what you use Socrative for is essentially quizzes. Making different kinds of quizzes that you can put together for your students. And while your students are taking the quiz, you can monitor them and see the progress of each individual student as well as the class as a whole. So it's a pretty useful tool to use for at least basic assessment skills. When you come to the site, you would come to a room number and get assigned a room number. And then all of the students would have to know that room number to be able to enter. As you can see, there's one student signed up for this test. It's a bit of a small class, but that's okay for our purposes here today. So the different kinds of test questions you can do fall under multiple choice, true or false, and short answer. And there's a fourth type down here called space race, where you can run the quiz as a game in a little bit of more of a fun format, and you can use teams if you want to do it that way. So this whole system essentially works as kind of a fun way to do the tests and keep the students engaged. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a quiz for one of the students and kind of watch their progress through there and see how that all works. So you would come down here to we'd start a quiz that I had already made. We're going to be running this quiz once we get to the page here. You can either choose student-paced or teacher-paced. So obviously the student-paced one, students would finish a little bit sooner than others, some would. And the teacher-paced one is I would just go question by question, so it keeps everybody at the same speed. You can decide if that's better or worse for cheating as you go. So this quiz would be run for a geography or a history class on the Winter Olympics, and let's see how our student does for this. So we'll go teacher paste, and I've already given the room number, and the student is in there, and so they would first question is to write their name. Hopefully they get that right, but it just allows you really to track them as they're taking the quiz. So I've got Michael Phelps in here, no relation to the wonderful swimmer. This guy's actually a pretty terrible swimmer. Okay, so I've submitted the next question, and we'll see how they do. And they got it correct. Which country and city hosted the 2010 Winter Olympic Games? Thank God. Okay, and then whenever I want, I can send the next question. I choose to send it now. And in a moment, we'll get the response for this one. I won the gold medal in men's hockey. This one was a short answer question, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. Spelling would count. And they guessed Switzerland, an incorrect answer. So at this point, again, like I'm just kind of tracking their progress, I can see how that's going. And they go on to the next question. At this point, I'm feeling a little bit bad, like, okay, good. See, I was starting to get worried, like maybe I'm a bad teacher. And you can kind of see, and if a lot of students are getting what you might feel is a simple question wrong, it might be the kinds of questions you're designing. You'd have to be careful not to make any spelling mistakes yourself in the expected answer. Well, and we'll send the next question. And if you don't send the question, boy, the students will let you know. And this is another short answer question. So again, you have to kind of be careful about if spelling is super important to you or not. Lots of clicking. This is going to be a wrong answer. I already know. And let's see. What do we get here? Michael Phelps is a good guess. Unfortunately, Summer Olympics, this is Winter Olympics. Now, if somebody writes a joke or something else here, I can choose whether to just make it an incorrect response or to give some discipline out in forms of beatings or whatever. It's totally up to the teacher. So now the quiz is finished, and we're going to end the activity, and I have a chance to get a report, which I can email out to the students, or I can just download and use it however I want. In this case, I'm going to choose no report. And we come back to the screen here, and that's either the end or after this test. You might have a few stages to the test to go through. You might want to play a game at the end just to make it fun after a really tough test and everybody's crying. There's all kinds of different ways you can do it. So in our written report, we kind of talked a little bit about some of the pros and cons for Socrative, some of the weak points, and not being able to necessarily test the higher levels of thinking, but I think this essentially kind of shows what some of the strong points are for this. So have a wonderful day.